there, this is Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com. Thanks for stopping by today as we take a look at these Qor watercolors by the Golden Company. You probably recognize Golden for their acrylics and some other products they make for fine art. And what makes these Qor paints unique is that they have a different kind of a binder. They don't use a gum arabic binder, they use a chemical binder to give what they call a deep, rich, high-intensity color, but retaining the same properties and qualities of a watercolor. Golden's been making paints for a long time. They've got it down to a science, obviously, and this is just their venture into watercolor. So although these are different in their composition, they perform exactly like a regular watercolor with the same sort of properties and qualities you might expect from a traditional watercolor. So this is the introductory tin. It comes with 6 colors, but the range is like there's probably 80 or so colors in the entire range. So quite a number if you count the whites and the blacks in there. There's a bunch of different options for color in this line being introduced already. But this tin comes with these 6 colors, and we'll give them a try. Right here, I'm going to use a water pen. This comes with Indian yellow, a cerulean blue chromium they call it, an ultramarine blue, pyrrole red light, an alizarin crimson, and a burnt sienna. So try first here with this blue, and then I'll fast forward through and demo the rest of these colors. But they're right about, I mean, they really are vibrant. These kind of remind me of the quality of, say, a Schmincke watercolor, which is just excellent. And those are the ones I use all the time. These are very much like that. You can just see, and what I'm doing is diluting the color next to it. So just to the right, I'm diluting it pretty heavily with water just to see how that comes out. And here I'm going to just blend a few colors just for fun, just to see what kind of colors I can get and how these behave. And they're pretty cool. Like I said, there's a lot of vibrancy here. Yeah, these are really, really cool. So next thing I'm going to do is I sketched a tree here, and I'm going to lay in some sky using that cerulean for the background and see how that goes. Eventually, it looks kind of funky now, and this isn't watercolor paper, so it's going to behave a little differently. This is just a sketchbook, but I wanted to see how they work in kind of everyday use, and I use my sketchbook a lot. So I'll add a wash here, even though the paper is not really made for it, and then just kind of throw down a little wet on wet here for the tree and see how this works out. And like I'm using this burnt sienna, and I just love the way the color pops. It's deep. You add a little bit more to it and it just really jumps out. So that's great. Yeah, it is loaded with pigment. At least it behaves as such. So you can see here, even once the color's down, you can go back and rework it a little bit. And when it's dry, there seems to be really nice transparency, so you can just layer really nicely. Overall, I give these Qor paints 2 big thumbs up. They really are great. They're vibrant, the color is rich, and eventually I'll have to test light fastness, but otherwise these really performed very, very well in my initial sketching and tests here. The one knock I do have on Qor and Golden, if you're listening, is you pack these 6 tiny paint tubes in this huge big tin container. So I would say, sell them in a different packaging. It was disappointing to open up the big tin and see these little tiny paint tubes in there. And then when I add the paint into the tin and close the top, the paints and the tubes will bounce around, and there's no place to really store my paints in this palette. So I have to use a different palette for that, or a different container. So just a heads up to the folks at Golden to hopefully fix that. And but it's early on and they're just starting out to introduce this, so we'll give them a pass on that one. All right, well, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, drop a little love with a like on it, and don't forget to leave a comment or a question. I love to hear from people who've experienced, who have experience with the same types of supplies and stuff I do. So yeah, these Qor paints really great, and they weren't too expensive. I think I got them for a little under 40 bucks, and then used a coupon as well, so I got them for even a little less than that, which made the disappointment about the 6 tiny tubes just a little bit easier to take. And so overall, yeah, like I said, these are great. And if you can pick them up cheap enough, I recommend it. Now, I want to try some other colors, obviously, but I'll be adding these in to my group of good watercolor paints that I use, including my Schmenkes. But so good luck, and I hope you get a chance to use some of these and try them out yourself. And like I said, if you do, don't forget to leave a comment or your thoughts about how they worked out for you and your work. All right, well, that's about it for today. So, well, until next time, so long, everybody.